Hi, I'm Dave Anderson, and this is Helicool's Helipad, and today I'm going to show you how to replace some rear lights on a trailer. Without further ado, let's just get right down to it. Here's one of the lights that needs to be replaced. Of course, get the proper tools that you need for the job and go ahead and do it. There we go, that's a start. Alright, well, after you get the rusty bolts off that won't turn, or the whole thing turns and you just can't get the nut off, and that's why I had to smash it to pieces. Just come in here and cut these as close as you can, because you want to have enough wire left over so that you can still reach where the ends will come together. And you'll have to cut this back a little bit and re-splice some connectors on there. Alright, taking some wire cutters, about a 1/2 inch or so. Expose the wires. Now you're ready to put some solderless connectors on there. But we're gonna straighten this thing back out, put the new light up here, bolt it on before we go crazy with any kind of wiring, to make sure that we have enough wire there. Now I've got all kinds of lights left over from, because I broke one and I had to change one and get another set, so I've got all kinds of weird contraption lights in here. It looks like this is a set though. I'll bet you these are both 2 left turn lights, but you know what, you can just hang one upside down, it ain't a big deal. And then of course here's the solderless connectors that also have the heat shrink butt connector. These are fantastic because they're waterproof and they're doggone near foolproof. So this is what I totally recommend for this job. Alright, well, let's make it happen. Now this busted light is courtesy of my brother, who does not have office hands. He has worker hands, and he actually pushed my other trailer into this trailer, thereby busting the light on this one and busting the one light on each trailer. Much to my dismay, I was, as you can tell, very pleased with him over that outcome. I'm just going to go ahead and use this one, and it looks like I'll just be sliding this right through, fish these out the bottom, and that'll work. So I'm going to take this off of there. Pretty easy. I mean, this is kind of a no-brainer. Because this was an LED, it does come with an extra ground plug, which I'm just going to put a connector onto this, put another nut right over the top of it, and that'll be my ground for this light. You don't want to get these too tight because, well, this is just plastic. It'll break. This is actually a light. I don't know how long it's going to last, because this is a light that's on the left side of a vehicle, but it's made for the right side. So the weed pole is actually up here in the top. But hey, this is just a flatbed old trailer, and I just want to get it up and going because I need it for in a couple of weeks. So this will be just fine for a while until I can get a new set of these put in. And so I just need to hook these up. And of course, being LED, you have to be careful of polarity. If it doesn't work, then you know that your polarity is wrong and you have to change the wires. Now I know for a fact that the green is ground, so I'm just going to go ahead and put this right up in here and pinch it together. Now if you wanted this to last a long time, you could definitely solder this as well. I'm just going to go ahead and stick it on there. and then put a nut right over the top of it. And that will be my ground. Now that ground needs to be good and tight because, well, DC is not a whole lot like AC, obviously, and if it does not have a good connection, you're going to lose voltage through it. So I'm going to make sure that that's good and tight. That should work out just fine. All right. Now you see, there wasn't a whole lot of room in between these, so you kind of have to be careful about it. So I'm going to go ahead and crimp one of these on there. I believe red should be well big enough. Blue is a bit bigger, and of course yellow is gigantic. But this is a pretty small wire. It's probably around 16 or 18 gauge. But of course you always want to twist it just to keep those loose wires running together. Put this on, crimp it, and then I will use a little lighter or something, or even a heat gun to it's not really melt it, but heat shrink it onto the wire. All right, you see where the red dot is on the tool? That's for these small sections. So all I did was crimp it to one side. I didn't crimp this other one because that's the one, I'm going to stick one of these up inside. And I'm not going to do that until after I hook it up to the truck, so I know that it's in the correct polarity. All I recommend is that you have your hazards lights on, so that when I do hook this thing up, it will actually flash the way I want it to, nice and bright. Well, the reason why I have the truck going right now is because I got an airbag system, and the airbag pump is still pumping to pump it up, so thought I'd just let it run for a little bit longer. I wasn't getting much voltage out of that rear light. There was a little bit, and usually that's a cause of a grounding issue. So I brought out this is basically just tow lights. I got a magnetic end to them. It wouldn't even fire these up just plugging them directly into the outlet. So what I decided to do, because the trailer is pretty old and well, this is, you could tell that some water probably could easily get inside there. So I'm thinking that this is probably shot. I'm going to pull this apart and see what's going on inside of that. It's got a little set screw. The set screw basically holds this inner housing, and oh boy, look at that. Look at the rust and junk that's on that thing. Wow. Yeah, there's even a spider trying to grow its web inside. Yeah, I'm thinking that this needs to be replaced. That's a culprit right there. It's looking pretty shot. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to pull all these wires off of here. I'm going to get a brand new one and then pull one of these wires off one at a time and put it on that brand new one. That way I don't have to figure out what item goes to what lug. So that's definitely an issue there. Yeah, well, time to go to the store. This fix will be for another day. Well, here we are again, and that is the piece that we're about ready to change. I did get a brand new one. So before I start pulling these off, I just want to make sure that I just do it the easy way and make sure that I put the pieces back together the same way as they came off. Hopefully I won't have to cut these and re-strip them, but it kind of looks like I'm going to have to do that because they're looking a little bit corroded as well. But so one wire at a time, and then we'll just make this happen. Before you put any wires together, make sure that you string the wires through this, because you get the wires on there, you won't be able to put this cap on there. So make sure all the wires go through this, and then finally screw them into the plug. Now that you got all of them wired in through the housing, take some of this terminal grease. Just kind of push it into these grooves here. This will hopefully keep it from doing what it did before. Keeps the water out, and hopefully will keep it from rusting. Well, this whole housing, being that it's going to be better sealed up, will of course keep it from doing a lot of that as well. There we go. And this last part. Okay. I can get these kind of wires out, out of the way. There we go. There's 1/2. Where'd my other shell go? There it is. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some silicone, 100% silicone, and squirt it up inside here and get this all buttoned up real nice and make sure that it's a little bit more watertight. All right, with that should work now. I'll get back to those lights again. If you ever have a doubt how to hook it up with the lines, go ahead. It's okay to cheat and use some instructions. I would, you know, especially if you don't know what's happened with this trailer, new trailer to you, you don't know if it's been hooked up correctly. Could be hooked up backwards or something, so it's okay to cheat and read the instructions. Okay, let's just see if this thing is working now properly. I've got the hazard lights on. So if this should be working, and it is not. Lines are all in. Granted, they're not crimped in. Odd. You got everything hooked up and nothing is still working. I mean, everything is just dead on a doornail. Most of the time with DC power and trailer lights, it is going to be the ground. And if the ground is not grounded, or the trailer is not grounded to the truck, or vice versa, then your lights are just not going to work. And here's a way that you can, now you don't have to get this fancy of a one, but if you look right here, you'll see that this is an ohms. And if you click your selector over to ohms, and you see that little thing, it'll go beep. If you're checking your ground from one end to the other and that is not ringing, then you got a bad ground somewhere, and you need to ferret that ground out, or you'll just be chasing your tail forever. So I'm going to give you a little demonstration of what this is like. I have the ohm meter selected, and if I was just to touch these two leads together, okay, so you know it's going to beep if and this is called ringing out a line. If there's still connectivity between the two lines, you'll get the beep. So what you can do is stick this end on one end that you know is supposed to be ground, and this end on the other, and if it rings just like that, then you know that the ground is good. And when I changed out this one, actually the ground was not good. It was not hooked up right. The insulation of the wire kind of got pinched in there, and the wire just doesn't touch. I mean, it was touching, but not good enough. And for DC, you gotta like really have it on there good. It's not like AC where just a little touch is all you need. DC, you gotta like mash it together. So took it apart, mashed it together, it rang out, and then all of a sudden trailer lights just started working. So anyway, that's my 2 tips to make sure that you're not chasing your tail forever. And this side of the trailer, well, I let a buddy borrow this, and this is how it came back. You know, sometimes clueless is just plain clueless, and this is why I don't really let my trailer go out of my sight, much less most of my other equipment. So, I mean, I don't know how you can hit something like this, bend that over and not notice, but came back just like this. So once again, proper tools for the proper job. Okay, that ought to get it out of the way enough. Well, I hope these tips have been helpful for you. My name's Dave Anderson, and this is Helicool's Helipad. Please subscribe, share, and give me a thumbs up if you really like this and if it's helpful to you. Until next time, be safe and God bless.